Welcome, everyone. My name is Amy Marie Granger Welch. I am the Deputy Director for Families for Strong Public Schools. We are a nonpartisan, statewide grassroots organization dedicated to supporting and strengthening Florida's public schools. And we work to empower parents, students, educators, and community members with information, resources, and opportunities to engage in the decisions that shape public education. We believe informed voters and engaged communities are essential to strong public schools, and we're proud to partner with the League of Women Voters to help provide this forum so voters can hear directly from the candidates. Thank you all for being here today. Teresa, you're up.
Thank you. I'm Teresa Potter. I'm co-president of the League of Women Voters of Hillsborough and Pasco counties, and I'm just going to give a brief, some brief important information about the upcoming elections, and then we'll move straight to our candidates. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows that August 18th is not just a primary with partisan elections. Everyone can vote, even those who are registered, no party affiliated. The school board and judicial races are nonpartisan, and there's sometimes even races on your ballot that are called universal, which means that everyone can vote for those. That happens whenever there are two candidates from the same party in that race, but nobody from the other party. So you want to make sure everybody votes, not just those that are registered to vote in a party. And the deadline to register for the August 18th election is coming up fast, July 20th. You can check your registration online at the website showing there at the bottom for Hillsborough County, by mail or by phone. And I think it's important to note that even if you didn't vote in the 2024 election and you're marked as an inactive voter at the supervisor of elections, you are still registered and eligible to vote in Florida. And you can also change your address at any time. So if you moved from somewhere else in Florida where you were registered to vote and you're here now, don't think you can't vote here. If you're registered to vote in Florida, you can walk into your precinct on election day and change your address there. So there's no deadline to changing your address. If you're registered to vote in Florida, you're eligible to vote. Also, when it's time to vote, there's three ways to vote. You can vote by mail, and the deadline to request your vote by mail ballot is August 6th. It's always 12 days before Election Day. It's important to know that you can mail it back. You can also drop it off at any early voting site during early voting, but on Election Day, you can only drop it off only at the Supervisor of Elections offices, and it has to be in by 7 p.m. on that day. So it's better to mail it early or drop it off at an early voting site. Early voting in Hillsborough County is from August 3rd to August 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Election Day, of course, is August 18th from 7 to 7. And now we are going to move right into our virtual candidate forum today for District 6. And we're going to call on each candidate to give a 2-minute intro. And I'm going to start with Ken.
You turn on the audio. All right. You said 2 minutes. So I'm going to watch the clock carefully at the bottom here. Gosh, I'm a Florida native, born here in Hillsborough County. Two children, both are Hillsborough County graduates. I trusted Hillsborough County with my school, with my children. And I get a phone call at the same time here. I'm running because I care about this community that I was born and raised in. My gosh, I want to just make sure that our schools are academically strong and we continue to support our teachers and staff and principals. And most importantly, making certain that our students remain safe and making sure that when they walk across that stage, that diploma means something. Gosh, I just want to make certain that everyone understands too. I am not a politician, have always been a school teacher, but I bring some strengths to the process. I have a background in curriculum. I find that certainly is a advantage going into this race. I made a lot of decisions as an administrator and teacher throughout the years, and I think I can bring that experience to the board. I just find that professionalism is missing in the school system. I want to bring that back. I just want to make certain that we work collegially as a team in making certain that our students improve going forward, and just making certain that we're just doing everything that we can provide with the best clarity we possibly can in our instruction, using our state standards to drive the curriculum, drive our instruction, and just provide parents with an understanding of what their children are learning, how they're being assessed. I just find that I bring some unusual strengths to the board, and
All right. Can you hear the timer?
I sure do. I like that. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Everything will have a timer. So now you all know what it sounds like. Sally, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go.
Well, I was the owner of Circle C Ranch Academy in South Tampa for 41 years, and it was on the top 100 women-owned businesses. And I had over 180 children every day, 300 in the summer, and had a lot of families go through. And then I was on the board in 2014 to 18 and chairman in 18. And during that time, I oversaw initiatives that resulted in a $1.2 million energy savings for our district. And then as a business owner and running my business for long term, I have the financial management, customer service expertise, and ability to make decisions, sometimes the hard decisions. I have classroom experience with my background as an educator. Myself, I worked at Monroe Middle School for 18 years as a career counselor there. And I know firsthand about teachers and some of the needs we have. I really feel that in our district right now, we have lost our teacher aides in our kindergarten classrooms and in some of the classrooms with special needs children. And I think we need to get those aides back in. Some of the things I'm running on is I really want to work hard on getting teachers back into our area, get that understood. In order to get the teacher respect back, we're going to have to get discipline in the schools and get that under control and work hard with our parents and a partnership. And then, of course, get the teachers a raise. We've got to do that. Florida was recently named the lowest state in the nation on teacher salaries. And that's embarrassing when we are a state that does lots of tourism and has lots of sports teams. And then I would like to be able to help them redirect and relook at the self-insurance for the teachers, which will actually give them a decrease in pay.
Thank you. All right. Hi, Karen. Are you ready for your intro? You'll have 2 minutes, and there'll be a timer. I don't know. Hopefully, you can hear it.
Okay.
But I'll try to gently nudge if you go over.
Okay.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So my name is Karen Perez. Of course, I've been elected since 2018. I am bringing the voice of mental health to the table, something that has been an alarming rate on the increase. Since my election, I've been able to bring $400 million to the table in allocations to support our children with the mental health services. What's been amazing is since I've been elected, the entire board working together has bought the district out of $175 million deficit that it was in 2018 to now that we're in the black. Something that as a board, we've been able to look at what was needed and what we've been voting on, and the ability to say, no, this is not needed, and move those dollars to be able to support teachers in the classrooms and our students. We are now an A district, something that we've been celebrating. And also, we've had a 93% graduation rate, something this district has not seen in a long time as well. We continue to really look at underutilized schools, really move the needle towards closing schools that are underutilized, and looking at the issue of the expenditures being in those schools and moving to close schools That way we can move those dollars into really supporting our students and teachers. When we come to looking at,
Right.
oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we are going to have one of our wonderful Hillsborough County Public School students introduce herself, and then she will be asking the questions today. I will have the timer on for a minute for each question. We're going to rotate through. I'm going to do my darndest to make sure everybody knows who goes next, but we'll start Sally, Karen, Ken, and then I'll just kind of rotate through each time. So bear with me. I'm going to change my timer to 1 minute and go for it. You're up.
Hi, my name is Anika Cunnin. I'm a student at Robinson High School, and I've been a member of the Superintendent's Advisory Council. I've worked with Kathy Castor. I'm really passionate about this. I'll be facilitating the questions today, so let's start off with the first one. As you know, the Florida Constitution legally binds the state to make adequate provision for a uniform, efficient, safe, and secure, as well as highest quality system of free public schools. What is the role of the school board in ensuring this? Where do you think Hillsborough, Pasco County schools do this well? And where is there room for improvement? And I know it's a long one, so if you need me to repeat it, I'm here.
Sally, you're up first. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. I need her to repeat the second part of that question.
Yeah.
So what is the role of the school board in ensuring this? So high quality system of free public schools that are efficient, safe, and secure. And where do you think Hillsborough and Pasco County schools do this well? And where is there room for improvement?
Okay, thank you. With 1 minute, I would say that the Hillsborough County Schools has done a very good job, especially in the safety avenue. They have safety put in place at each school. Every morning they go through that process to make sure that the campuses are safe. And every teacher has a monitor system that they can ring or pull or something to notify when something goes wrong. So I think that's one of the safety issues. The other one is, of course, our HVAC. Air conditioning systems. The district has used that half a penny sales tax to upgrade all of the air conditioners in the district, and being able to have pure, clean air, which helps the students have that available in their learning process. I also feel like that we've got some more work to do legislatively to make sure. I know that public schools, the enrollment has decreased a little bit, but I don't think that's going to continue if the schools are customer service related. So we need to have those schools be ready to be very good customer services. People will want to be there.
All right. Thank you. All right. Karen, you're up next.
Thank you. So when it comes to security in our schools, we have been the template actually in our nation for how we have exemplified our school safety. For us, our students are number one, and the safety of our students is non-negotiable. So we in Hillsborough County have made sure that there's one entry point for everyone in our schools, that around the whole entire school that we have that security, and we make sure that that if any school is failing to meet those criterias, as far as like the doors, that we make sure that every door is locked, that every student is safe and secure, that we ding them, and then we come back to make sure that they're meeting the standards for security for our students. And Pasco is doing that as well, and we continue to make sure that our students are safe.
Thank you. Ken, you are up. Let me know when you're ready. If you'd like the question repeated, you're more than welcome.
I heard safety, health, and something else, so I think I've heard it well enough.
Awesome.
Gosh, I go back as far as Chief Friedberg, who I think put a lot of these policies back or strengthened them in the process. I know Newberg has even strengthened them more, and I expect Chief Collins to continue with that. Yes, I agree that those practices and procedures should be continually enhanced throughout the process. Always safety first for our children. In regards to safety as it relates to discipline. We've got to make sure that we have those practices in place as well in dealing with chronic behavior problems and remove those children when necessarily from the building. Teachers are not going to be able to teach. Students are not going to be able to learn if teachers can't teach. So we've got to make sure that safety comes first. Eliminate the harassment, the bullying. Parents are moving beyond the building because of the discipline concerns that we have. In relation to health, I think.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next up, Anika.
Okay, so for our second question, it's how should districts address disparities in resources or opportunities between schools?
Erin, you're first.
Okay. So I've brought this to the attention of the superintendent, is making sure, especially because COVID brought up that disparity, brought that disparity to the surface, making sure that all children have all the resources that they need. So if one school has all the resources, moving the funding to the other schools to make sure that that school has everything that they need in order to meet the same amount of resources that other schools have. And if other schools do have over resources, to move those resources to those other schools, like computers, even our teachers. If they're the teachers are in a space in schools, move those teachers to help our students in other schools where they're needed the most.
Thank you. Ken, you're next.
Oh, first and foremost, making certain the curriculum is strong in each of those buildings, making certain those instructors are familiar with the process, the instructional role that they play, and making certain, gosh, as a teacher, always making certain that we have high expectations for every child, no matter where they are on the spectrum, making sure that we teach to the standards and make sure those discipline practices are in place, concrete as well. We've got to have strong instruction. We've got to make sure that we have clear curriculum, what we expect of the curriculum, that parents expect that. They expect the basics. And just making certain that all the essentials, the technology is up to date and refreshed for our children to learn each and every day.
Thank you. Sally.
First of all, I think that the most important thing is we have to protect what directly affects the students. And that's the important thing. So we have to look at each school and find out what it is that that school is not having the services of. It might be a speech therapist. It might be a computer, whatever it is. So most of the time it ends up being services provided to the students. Some schools have every resource they could possibly have, and others get shortchanged. So I think that the district is doing a better job now of making sure that they are doing that in each of the schools. They haven't got it clear yet, but they're working on it. And I think that as a new board member coming in with the experience of being on the board, I would help influence that and make sure that we are able to, like I say, protect the students and they need first. I think the district is very good about, in some of the areas, we've got great programs like our ag program. We've got, the business department program.
Thank you. All right. Ken is next, then Sally, and then Karen. Anika, you want to go on that question?
Yes. How should districts address concerns about teacher recruitment and retention in Florida?
Ken.
Well, I work for Scott Richmond, and I believe in the program, alternative certification program. We're losing good teachers, obviously, to discipline, burdensome paperwork, and so forth. But recruiting qualified individuals from the STEM fields, whether it be science, technology, mathematics, bring those folks in mass. They have so much expertise in those various areas. We've got those areas in mathematics and science that are limited, and we need to bring those. I think that's the first and foremost, continue that program. And then making certain that those those individuals, for example, our support staff, those veteran teachers, making certain that they stay in the system as long as they possibly can. I realize that Hillsborough County has extended the drop program, but we've got to keep those people in the buildings. They serve as a valuable resource to our teachers as mentors for our new teachers. They serve the purposes of those support.
Thank you. All right. Sally, you're up.
Okay. Teacher retention is probably one of the hardest things to continue. Teachers' cases, they leave because of the paperwork and keep track of. So what we have to do is easier for them. And we also need to make each campus has a principal, assistant principal. We need to put people in place that support those teachers. If a teacher feels validated and honored and they will do their job, became teachers because they want to teach children. But sometimes the bureaucracy of the district gets involved and they decide that it's just too much for them, and it's usually paperwork that causes that. Like I said in my introduction, I want to make the teachers feel respected. I want to do whatever we can to make them feel that they have a career that is honored in our community, and I think that alone will help to keep our retention.
Thank you. All right, Karen, when you're ready.
Okay. We've at the district have put in place some programs to assist teachers now in creating curriculum, taking that off the table and to ensure that they have more time. And the teachers absolutely love it because it's putting more time for them in the classroom, focus on the students. The teacher pay is one of the things as well. You know, we've gone up to Tallahassee. We've, lobbied with the senators and the representatives and our Congress to make sure that they understand how vital it is for teacher pay. And then third, and ensuring that our veteran teachers that we're doing a recruitment process right now to get our retired teachers back into the classroom. And they actually love that. So right now we're looking at returning our teachers back to the classroom to support our teachers who are there now. Thank you.
Okay, so moving forward, how would you prioritize spending decisions during tight budget years?
Sally, you're up first.
Well, it goes back to by students first. Have to go if there are things that are strict, in the cut, look at how to cut those other issues out, or unnecessary things that are related to that have a cut. We can look at creative ways to do it. There's lots of things that you can do to cut something and yet still not cut the service out by adding extra aid here and extra aid there. We can continue the services, but yet at the same time, we don't have the level of expertise in those areas. The most important thing is to be able to keep the students learning and enjoying their learning in the classroom, and be able to have the teachers have all the resources that they need in order to make that happen. And sometimes that's a tough decision to make.
Thank you. Karen, you're up.
Hey, we've been the greatest demonstration of how to prioritize to make the budget work. From $175 million deficit to where we are today, we have put that into practice, prioritizing what's needed in the district and making that budget, come into the black. This board, along with myself, has seen what we need to do, where we need to scale back, what we need to let go of, and how we need to work this budget to make sure that students are prioritized, that teachers are prioritized, that the work of this district is focused in the right space and place, and that this budget maintains, because we were almost taken over by the state, and this board, including myself, stopped that process from happening.
Yeah. All right, Ken.
All right, I know we have non-negotiables. There's certain compliance things that we can't get rid of, but number one, looking at textbooks, we need to, I think we spend roughly between 20 and $30 million. We need to make sure that we look and explore options related to digital technology. I know other counties are working with that. We could save some money there. Working with transportation, I know we're experimenting with e-buses and so forth, and that's another opportunity. I believe we're piloting that in Hillsborough County. I think we need to go further with that. That provides safe transportation. Also looking at contractual obligations, making certain that we're looking closely at those, and also making certain that we remove redundant we don't need any more programs. We need systems that work. Duplicating programs, that's probably pulling more uh, uh, finances away from our children. We need to redirect everything continually toward that dollar should go toward education every time for that child.
Thank you.
Okay,
Right.
so going on, what is your vision for the future of public education in Florida as education options continue to expand?
Karen, you're up first this time.
Okay. So for me, it's making sure that, choice is number one, that our parents, that window for choice is always available to our parents. I have a lot of parents that want their children closer to them. Some parents live, for instance, in New Tampa, Plant City, but they work downtown. So, that has worked really well for our parents. And then also, making sure that things are available for them, whether it's the college, trades, that our students who, wherever they want to go and whatever their future looks like, that's available to them. And we're doing a fantastic job with them, being able to put those programs in place throughout the county to support children's and students' choices for their future.
Yeah. Ken, you are next. Get this started when you're ready.
Well, we've got to make certain that we're strengthening the public trust and our public school system. I think I mentioned earlier, I trusted the system with my two children. Everyone should be able to do that. And we build that through transparency, making certain that we're certain with what we're providing clarity of what we're teaching, making certain parents understand what they need to have an understanding of what their children are learning, how they're being assessed, what materials we're using. So transparency as well. And then I think Karen mentioned that too, and Sally as well. I'm on board with that. Opportunities need to be provided in the technical and trade field. We've got to explore that, increase that, strengthen that area. But again, transparency is key, making sure, that last climate survey, 19% of those surveyed, parents feel a disconnect. We've got to do a better job communicating with our parents. Remember, conflict comes when there's not clear communication with our parents. That's the key in building support.
Thank you. Sally, you are up next.
All right. I love choice. I think choice is important. I think parents need to be able to make a decision on what schools they could do. Hillsborough County, great schools. I attended Robinson High School, graduated from there. My children attended school in Hillsborough County, and now my grandchildren are there. So I believe in public education, but I know that I did have a special needs daughter, and I feel like she would have done so much better at one of the charter schools or a choice school than what she did in public school, because she just didn't have the services that she needed. But she's 27 now, so everything's fine. But I do feel that the district does a really good job with that and being able to include our charter schools and be able to be a part of that. I think that Hillsborough County has so many programs out there that you have more advantages if you choose to go to a public school, especially for our special needs children, our autistic children.
Thank you.
Hillsborough County.
Thank you.
Okay, so what role should school boards play in advocating for state funding or legislative changes?
Ken, you're up first.
First of all, be an advocate first and foremost for the district. Continually work with our district representatives, our state representatives, to continually communicating with them, sharing our concerns 24/7 if we have to, making sure that we're doing everything we can to be as transparent with our constituents, our parents, our students. That's the key, communicating our needs and the importance of Hillsborough County to the state.
Thank you. All right, Sally, you are up.
Well, as a school board member, I would be right in Tallahassee in their offices lobbying and asking for help. But one of the things I've learned over the years is when you want to lobby or you want to try to do something to get legislation to listen to it, we need to give them real stories of schools and what's going on in the schools. So first of all, we check with at home and find out, what is the need? Where do we need the help? Go ask for what funding we need and go to Tallahassee with real stories on why we need that funding, why we need to put that in place. And again, I want to make the teachers feel honored. And the only way that we're going to give them their honor is to give them a paycheck that will keep them so they can pay their bills and be able to take care of their family. So it's all in a priority. You have to provide data to them. Data. Legislators and senators want data. So we have to give them the data on why we need more money and what it could do and show them, give them examples.
Thank you. All right, Karen.
So all politics are local. And once we go to the community and talk to the community, it's not about what we think, it's about what the community needs. So for me, it's about taking our community's voice to Tallahassee and to Washington as well. So we as a board will travel to Tallahassee, bring the voice of the community, whether it's teachers, students, or their parents, and let Tallahassee know. And then also to Washington. We go and speak with them. We have lobbyists that go and let them know what our need is, and let them carry the mantle from there. But we let them know that our community, this is what they need, and what will make Hillsborough County stronger, and our future leaders even stronger from there.
Thank you.
Okay, so our seventh question is, what principles would guide your communication with the public regarding school district referendum measures? And how would you ensure voters have the information they need to make informed decisions?
Sally, you're up first.
If you're talking about a referendum, that's the hardest to get through. I was on the board in 18 when we did have to do that, and we got the half a penny sales tax, that extension of or a new one. And I feel that again, if you let them know what it's going for, there was no secret in the one we got passed in 18. We showed them we needed air conditioners, we needed roofs repaired, we had major issues in schools, we needed new school buses. And they got billboards up saying thank you for all of this and showing. And that's what you have to do. If we need that kind of support, we need that kind of funding, we're going to have to show them why we need it, what it's going to be for, and make sure they see how we spent the money. Transparency will be absolutely highest priority on any money. If you want a half a penny sales tax or a penny sales tax, you've got to show the community why it's important. And that is the only way that they'll support it.
Thank you. Karen, you're up. Don't worry. I don't start the timer until I hear you guys speak. So I know.
Okay. All right. Trust, transparency, and clarity. So, we have to first earn the trust of the community by showing them what we're doing. The committee that we put together to show, where the money is going. That it's not us with the hands in that money, but the community members that we've put, assigned to look over the funding. And clarity, where that money is going. Look at what we've done with it, over the last few years. And and fortify them with letting them also let us know what they need. When the community comes to us and say, hey, this school, this air conditioner, we also listen to them as well as to where that money needs to go and what needs to happen with it.
Thank you. Ken, you are next. Whoops.
Oh, dashboards, clear dashboards need to be developed for our parents, for our families, continuously making certain that we're posting the availability of these dashboards, easy to use, easy to focus on what is important and what's going on in the district. That provides the transparency and the clarity. Also, making certain that we bring our leaders in each of our buildings. They're great communicators. They're doing right things for our buildings, right things for our families. They're a greatest source of our strength. Sharing that with our parents throughout the district. And then most importantly, drawing in CTA, our union group. They serve us well as in that regard too, serving as an essential publicity group for us and sharing what our families need and the direction we're going with these referendums and when we're putting them on the table. So again, dashboards, bringing our leaders in, regularly posting these meetings, having regular meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What is your understanding of the school district's procurement process, and what approach would you take to identify potential cost savings without compromising educational quality or student services?
Karen, you're up first.
So procurement of resources and materials.
Karen's up first. Sorry, Ken. The K is
okay. It's making sure that we find out where these resources are coming from, the cost of the resources, and where those resources are going to. We, as a board member, we receive a list of whatever the resource is, it's going into the school. We find out the cost. And if the district can find a lower cost for whatever it is that we're getting, and how who brought that item to us, and where they and where that resource is going. But that's
Ken. You're up next.
And with the materials and resources based on curriculum, the procurement process is primarily, my understanding, that's each department. We put that in the hands of each department. We use their expertise in deciding what's best for our children as long as it's aligned with our state standards. So first and foremost, the process should begin with them because they know best what is best for those disciplines, whether it be language arts, mathematics, or science. So first and foremost, making certain that they are refining what we need. With regards to media, that's the responsibility of the media specialist. The media specialist is going through that material and looking at those resources that are best needed for that building, that are also aligned with the curriculum and what those teachers are teaching in the building. And let's see. So I think that's all I had.
Thank you. Sally.
Well, I think that we need to actually revamp the whole procurement system. I don't feel that, I think over the years they've been lax on getting the best deal that's possible for our district, especially because our schools have grown, our numbers have grown, and our needs have grown. And an example of that would be a television that through the bid system was $799. And if a school needed to buy a TV for one of their classrooms, that's what it would cost. And yet, if you go to Walmart, the exact same TV is $49. And I saw that happen firsthand in one of our public schools. And I just feel like we need to revamp whatever our system is. We need to look the system in the eye and not accept it from year after year after year. Every year it should be new, fresh, and new bidding, and keep the costs down. If our district's going to buy 50 TVs, of course we should get a better deal. And so I think it needs to be revamped totally.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, now to finish us off with, I think, one of our most relevant questions. So this November, Hillsborough County voters will decide whether to change from an appointed superintendent to an elected superintendent beginning in 2028. What factors should voters consider when deciding this referendum, and what is your perspective on the role of the superintendent in serving this district?
And you're up first.
You said
Okay.
Ken or Karen?
I said Ken.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Karen. First and foremost, I am opposed to having an elected superintendent. I think it serves us best when we find that somebody that has the background in education, the pedagogy, making certain they're familiar with the systems that are within in the schools, dealing with teachers and staff. That's important. Dealing with curriculum, I think that's first and foremost. And the number one reason that individual is going to be an ongoing politician, continuing the cycle, looking for the next election. So that's not something we attempted that in 1966. We rolled off of that process. It didn't work then. We just don't need a politician in the process. We need somebody that's backed in education, that has the wisdom to lead us in instruction, in instructional design, instructional fortitude.
Thank you. Sally.
I do not support an elected superintendent for many, many reasons, but the main reason is that they are competing and politicking 2 out of their 4 years if it's a 4-year term. And they have to get elected. They have people donating to their campaign. The energy that it would take away from running the district, it would be absolutely horrible. I don't think that that's a positive thing for our district. The other thing is that when you hire somebody and the school board does do the hiring, you can look at somebody that has the business experience as well as the academic experience, because you need both. You need a business conscientious person to run, our district. We have such a large budget that it needs somebody that understands business and can make the tough decisions and be able to cut where they need to cut, and especially if we lose the property taxes. So I think that we need to have an appointed superintendent is vital to having success.
Thank you. Teresa, you're up. Oh, wait, no, I have Karen. I'm so sorry, Karen. I made one mistake. I did so well through this whole thing.
You did.
Darn it. Okay.
So, a school board member has 4 jobs: to hire the superintendent, the board attorney, policy, and the budget. And with the superintendent, normally when we look for a superintendent, there's normally a nationwide search, because we're looking for the best qualified person. And if that superintendent does not fare well, we could fire them. But if it's an elected superintendent, we can't do that. And like as it was mentioned, we did that before, and it ended up being so messed up that people were arrested. Things happened. It didn't work out here in Hillsborough County. And there's only 2 states that have elected superintendents. So Here, we like to, for the board to maintain some measure of control over what's happening, especially with the budget.
Thank you. Teresa, now you're up.
Thank you. So we'll come back and let each candidate give a 1-minute wrap up, but we just want to finish off by making sure that everybody remembers how important it is to vote on August 18th. Not all of the important elections are in November. We need to vote for our public schools and our judicial offices. Make sure you check your registration or request your vote by mail ballot soon. It is very easy to early vote instead of waiting for election day when something might happen to prevent you from voting. So we encourage people to organize a voting event, go together to vote after back to school open houses, go with your family after a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or after church or other community events. Early voting in Hillsborough is from August 3rd through the 16th from 10 to 6, and Election Day, August 18th from 7 to 7. For anybody who might not know, the League of Women Voters has a nonpartisan voter guide available at vote411.org. We ask questions of every candidate running for office, and their answers go right back into the system. We don't touch them, so you get nonpartisan information direct from the candidates at vote411. Amy, you have anything to add?
No, I just really want to thank our student co-host today for taking the time away from all of her interning and all the different things she's doing this summer. And we're really excited to have you. That was a really nice break from Teresa and I and Linda, that student focus.
Well, thank you so much to everyone for having me. This is wonderful, and I'm just here to learn.
Thank you. So now we'll give each candidate a chance to do a 1-minute closing, let voters know anything else that you wanted to share with us. And where are we in the rotation? Is it Sally up first?
You're good. Sally, Karen, and then Ken.
Okay,
so Sally, you're up first.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. This has been very good to be able to share beliefs. And why I am a good candidate and should be elected is because I have, first of all, 18 years as a career counselor in the school system. At that time, it was Monroe Middle School and Tampa Bay Tech. I have a strong initiative that I want to see vocational programs. I have really want to get in there and try to get them introduced in middle school and high school, as 70% of our kids don't go to college, and we need to plan for that. And then I feel like I also have the experience on the self-insurance that will help the district save some money, and I've got that going. And I also have such a passion to have our teachers get a pay raise and try to be able to get the respect back and have the community really supporting our teachers. And I don't want to leave out our special needs children. As a mother of a special needs child, I know how important it is to keep those programs with their aides and the need and the money that they need.
Thank you. Karen.
Thank you. Of course, Karen Perez, I'm current chair of the Hillsborough County Schools. And, I just want to continue the work that I've been doing for the last 8 years, bringing the voice of mental health to the dais and ensuring that our children continue on the trajectory that we've been having, the 93% graduation rate and our A rating. That came with a lot of work, and I want to continue that work. And, we've had a lot of the trades schools open up, and we're looking forward to opening up another one out in South County, making sure that our children who are not on the trajectory to go to college do have and find their footing in the trades. But we're here for every student, every child, because that counts. And I'm looking at, getting reelected.
Yeah. Ken, you're going to close us out.
Gosh, 4 decades and counting in Hillsborough County. I've supported a lot of students, a lot of parents throughout my career. I continue to do so. I'm still got a lot of energy in myself. I continue to work for a nonprofit affiliated with Tampa General Hospital, John Hopkins and St. Joe, teaching health and safety throughout Hillsborough County. In fact, Dade County this last week, I continue to work for the district with alternative certification. So a lot of strengths there. I bring a wealth of a background in education. My gosh, I have a doctorate that has helped me have an understanding of how children are connected socially, emotionally, academically, and behaviorally. I just want to do so much in the sense that making certain that we're good stewards with that $4.8 billion, making certain that we provide clarity for our parents and making certain that we continually support our teachers and retain them and hold on to them.
Thank you.
Thank you again to all our candidates for coming today. Our second mission of the League of Women Voters, besides making sure everybody who's eligible to vote gets out and votes, is to make sure that we have an educated electorate. So we really appreciate you coming to let the voters know who you are and what you stand for so that they can help them make a decision for Election Day.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all. We should have this up live on
Thank you.
YouTube, and we will share out the recording so everybody can share it out and make sure people have access to this information. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.